Hello viewers, so here's a look at the Need for Speed trailer and gameplay that was shown last night at the E3 conference. Need for Speed has been, it's one of those titles that does seem to be getting a bit rinsed at the moment, doesn't it? It's going in so many different directions. It's almost as if EA on the one hand know what they want to do with it, on the other hand don't know what they want to do with it, because it's a title that's changed. It's changed from a realistic driving simulator that included some peripheral cop chase action to you know, a whole cop chase journey. Looking at the footage we've seen so far and some of the gameplay that we're going to see shortly, you'd have to say that it's very much like Need for Speed Underground in a way. Not only visually but also in the way it plays. It's almost a backward step in gameplay and just sort of dumbing it down. Almost as if in a way it's almost a desperation to find something new, and if we can't find something new, let's manufacture something crazy that car guys are going to like this, and they're going to like big explosions and big jumps and, you know, noise and everything else. And I think it's trying to find something that's going to work for the system. I think what a shame is though is that when they do find something that works, and everyone's got a favourite Need for Speed game I'm sure, they never go back to it. I mean, on the 360 I thought Need for Speed Most Wanted was a good game. A lot of fun, went through the whole game, good atmosphere, you know, you were the person to look out for. But here we are, we see the QTE sequences here as well. I mean, it's, you know, press the X button now, you know, press the whatever, the triangle button now. It's not really as if you're involved, there's any skill to any of this. On the one hand you can say, well, I want as many people playing as possible. Who wants to sit there and learn how to play a game when you can just sit there and press a button and it's kind of like watching a film but not. Need for Speed is a driving game at its core. And I look at this now and I wonder, you know, if it could have been called something else. But as I say, they've put The Run behind it to say The Run is a different sort of genre, if you like. It's more than a Need for Speed game. It's the running game. Here's the guy beating up a few cops here. So is he a bad guy? Are you playing a bad guy, or are you playing a good cop who's had to go deep undercover and now he can't find a way out back to the surface? He's hard. He beats up the cop who can't hang around, Jack Bauer style. He steals the cop car. He wouldn't get away, would he? Let's face it. Let's face it. But lighting is really nice. I mean, graphically, don't get me wrong, I mean, the graphics look great. I mean, we don't even talk about graphics now, do we? I mean, we're so far into the life of the 360, and when you're talking about the big game companies, if there's one thing this year at E3, all of the games have looked fantastic. I mean, for me, I was actually say apart from being obviously impressed by Modern Warfare 3 and Battlefield, I thought Tomb Raider looked absolutely incredible. It really blew me away. I wasn't expecting it to be real time, so stunning. And of course it was Bioshock 3 and stuff like that. For gamers, this is a gamer's driving game. But I do feel that it's looking a bit generic here. How's it all going to tie together when it comes to gameplay and the street sequences? I'm sure it will as a movie and getting you involved. I can see the concept behind it. Who's it going to appeal to? There's a lot of you guys who are regular driving fans who watch my channel. Don't expect this to be compatible with a steering wheel. Looking at it right there is what I was saying. Don't expect realism or anything like that. What would the game be like if they did make it a slightly more realistic handling? If every car had something to it that needed a bit of skill? You know, if it really made a difference between driving style and, you know, how you got away from the cops, you know, what would it be like, I wonder? We'll never know, because they never investigate that side of things. It's just automatically accepted that if you want to play a cop chase game, then the cop car's got to handle like, you know, a toy. You know, it couldn't possibly handle realistic. You know, people don't want that. But as soon as you pull out a gun, you know, they say, oh, but it's got accurate reload time or something like that, whatever. So it's strange how the way it's looked at, but an introduction to driving games, making you feel like you're better than you really are, I suppose. Intense fire from the helicopter here, very Grand Theft Auto style. Luckily for him, there's a few tunnels. That kind of reminds me of Batman, that view, doesn't it? It's like the Dark Knight. It's got that kind of Christopher Nolan glow to it. Epic explosions. I mean, graphics now are just, you know, I keep talking about it on my videos, don't I, about how graphics blow me away, but, you know, from what we've come from over the last few years, and many of you even playing on the Xbox One, you know, the PS1, you know, you see how far we've moved. especially from before that. We're talking polygons and colours. No doubt this will use all the sort of standard auto features. I'm sure they'll develop something new. Will there be any out-of-car gameplay online as well? That'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see the depth of the out-of-car gameplay. Is it really just you get out of the car and you press one button over and over again until you get into another car again? Or is there going to be something that actually requires some skills to play? I mean, let's face it, video games are based on skills. From the arcades of the 80s onwards, they're based on learning a game, being good at it and developing that skill. Here he is waking up in the car after a massive accident. But our man's hard, isn't he? He's a bit dizzy, you know. He might be a bit dizzy after all that action. I like this sequence though. Now I think this is a great drama sequence here. You know, the train is coming, you're locked in the car, and they're saving it. You know, you can't get out. You know, you've got to be calm. You know, get your seatbelt off, whatever. I like that. I like that. You know, there's some really nice details here. You know, EA do have very, very talented staff working for them, but it's down to also, you know, the remit of, you know, the fiction of making the game and what it contain. Here comes the train. It's obvious what's going to happen in this sequence, but I do like just how close that train gets before you get out of the car. It's very much giving you that feeling that you're in there. Even the way you escape from the car here, really good angle. Try and squeeze your body through over the rail just in time. Fierce, fierce. So a cool ending to the trailer. I mean, yeah, it looks like it will be a lot of fun, but let's just see how it comes together as a game with a QTE. It's something that I'll need to play the game to get into it, to get a feel for it, to say, wow, you know, perhaps it's a break between scenes or something like that, you know, a break in the intensity, or it gives me an option to develop a story, or maybe even how I perform in the QTE will determine the way the story goes. It could be something like that. Here's some screenshots that I've also been sent today. These are all the latest screenshots for it. Obviously graphics, you know, they look fantastic. I was mentioning the Christopher Nolan tunnel there, but there it is. It's got that kind of, you could say yellow light feel, but you know, it does have a feel to it, don't they? They did go through a whole Michael Bay phase. Perhaps Christopher Nolan is the new phase for Need for Speed. So nice car models, really nice lighting effects you can see there on the brake lights of the car and everything else. It's kind of something they've developed on from Shift. I mean, let's face it, Shift 2 had some awesome night lighting, you know, it had some awesome graphics as well. It's moved so far forward. Screenshots of your character there, nice character models. I don't know if these environments as well, whether they're all going to be restricted or whether you might be able to go where you want in some of those environments. It would be nice, wouldn't it? As I say, very much a Most Wanted style. You know, if you had to consider several hideouts you could go to rather than just the one route. But that's Need for Speed The Run. More coverage when we have it.